because one thing I want to talk about is yesterday, or 2 days ago, President Lee Jae-myung met with his cabinet. And he had a meeting where he talked about how he wants to expand abortion access and expand access to the abortion pill. So this is from the Korea Times. Lee says women should be safely able to take abortion pills. So President Lee Jae-myung has instructed the government Tuesday to look into ways to allow women to safely take the abortion pill mifepristone. I always forget how to pronounce this. Even before the necessary legal framework is in place. Lee said during a cabinet meeting that Korean women have been directly purchasing the pill from overseas to get around domestic restrictions at the expense of risking their own health. Even if it causes some difficulties to the government, we have to allow them to take it appropriately, he said at the meeting at Cheongwade, which is the Blue House. Meanwhile, abortion is not illegal in Korea. While abortion is not illegal in Korea, the legal framework governing gestational limits and procedures has yet to be established. Lee called for approaching the issue from a pragmatic point of view, saying leaving it unaddressed would be irresponsible on the government's part. He also suggested giving doctors the discretion to decide whether to prescribe the pill as an alternative to letting women purchase it indiscriminately from overseas. This is national suicide. Why would you do this? First of all, there's no safe way to take the abortion pill because the abortion pill kills a human life in the womb. So it is so Orwellian, the language people use surrounding abortion. Because there's no safe way to take an abortion pill because why? It kills the baby in your womb and it disrupts the natural process that you as a mother have. That's why miscarriage is so traumatic and actually not good for a woman's body. Because why? Once a woman gets pregnant, her hormones, her endocrine system, her entire body adjusts for the growing baby. And then when that baby doesn't come to full gestation and dies in the womb, it is actually deeply traumatic and damaging to the woman. Because the woman, her entire body, the mother, her entire body adjusted to welcome this baby into the world. And then if the baby dies, whether it's through miscarriage or abortion, like the body's in shock. It's not supposed to do that. And so miscarriage is a tragedy. We all know it's a tragedy because a life is lost and a woman suffers. But abortion is a worse tragedy even than miscarriage because miscarriage is not intentional, but abortion is the intentional killing. It's the murder of a baby in the womb. And so it completely disrupts a pregnant mother's physiology and her biology, completely destroys her body. It's not good for her. And so there is no actual safe way to take the abortion pill because it is dangerous for the baby. It kills the baby and harms and ruins the mother's body. And in actuality, there are cases of women who have died from taking the abortion pill, from bleeding out, from having disruptions and side effects. So there's no safe way. This is such an Orwellian way to think about it. But to think about it. Lee Jae-myung, you are so stupid. Korea is on the brink of collapse. It is literally going through civilizational collapse right now. The most important thing you need to secure politically in a society is people. If you don't have people, you don't have a society. That's literally just not even politics 101, it's common sense. Yet, with Korea, with one of the lowest birth rates in the world, marriage rates declining, birth rates not high at all. Birth rates are 0.7, 0.8, depending on the study. Where you need to be encouraging more childbirths and having more children. Why are you trying to expand access to killing babies? You need to be encouraging having more babies, not killing babies. This is national suicide. This is civilizational collapse. This is literally a betrayal of the Korean people. And of course, the Korean people, a lot of them so consumed by materialism and individualism, think that, oh yeah, this is just a byproduct of what needs to happen. I need to be able to kill my baby. I need to be able to have sex no matter what. Yeah, like this is gonna exacerbate the problem. Because why? There's no incentive for men and women to get married anymore. What used to be the incentive, especially for men, but incentive to get married? Well, marriage is the institution in which you have sex and you find love and you have children. But if you don't need to be married to have sex anymore, if you don't need to be married to have children anymore, what's the point of marriage? There's no point in getting married. You can sleep around with whoever you want. You go from next girl to next girl, from next guy to next guy, have no commitment. And then if you ever get banged up as a woman, you can just kill your child. Just take a pill and kill the child. No problem. Allowing for abortion results in more degeneracy. Think about it. All the expats to come to Korea to just sleep with women, or think about all the sleazy guys who just sleep around with women. Yeah, abortion gives them a safe pathway towards freedom to do whatever the heck they want to use and abuse women. And in the same way, abortion gives women, degenerate women, whores, a way to whore out their body, to do whatever they want with their body, coerce men, hurt men. Because why? They could just kill the baby if they end up getting pregnant. Like, this is why I don't understand. I was at the pro-life movement, the March for Life in Korea 3 months ago, right? And most of the people there were Catholic. And so most of the pro-lifers in Korea are Catholic, but most of the Catholics there, and most of the Catholics vote left-wing in Korea. They vote for Minjudang. They vote for Jae Myung. They like Jae Myung. And I'm like, how? Like, both parties aren't super, like, anti-abortion. The PPP is more pro-family and a little more anti-abortion than the Minjudang. But how are you as a Catholic pro-lifer supposed to vote and endorse the Liberal Democratic Party, the Democratic Party, like in Korea? Because they are pro-abortion. Lee Jae-myung is trying to expand access to abortion. So if you want less babies to die and you want more children to be born, we cannot have abortion pill access for all people. We need to restrict it. Restrict it. And I know it's politically not viable. I get that. But we have to. This is not a time right now in Korea to opine about the political viability of banning abortion. Why? Because literally you have the lowest birth rates in the world. Korea is literally on the brink of civilizational collapse, where Korea became one of the richest countries in the world overnight, and now it's about to die because there's no people, there's no Koreans, there's no next generation of Koreans. What next generation of Koreans are you fighting for? Are you doing politics for if you're not even having children, if people in Korea are not having children? This is what right-wingers in Korea need to understand. This is why Yoon Suk-yeol, as much as President Yoon was a fighter for democracy and for Korea, and he was good on certain issues, yeah, he cannot be the paragon of the right wing. He had no children. Well, we need examples in society to show us that, yes, like having lots of children is a good thing. It's a good thing. You need to have children or else you can't have a society. What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? So I do hope that Korea wakes up, and there needs to be a new movement in Korea that is family first and is nationalist and is Korea first, because at this point, like the trajectory of Korean politics right now, Korea is going to die. So pray for Korea, pray for the pro-life movement in Korea, pray that abortion is made illegal, because right now as it stands, abortion, they haven't actually like legislated on this because the courts ruled that abortion is allowed for any period of gestation at any time in the pregnancy. So you can abort your child for any reason whenever you want during your pregnancy in Korea. And so they haven't like codified it into law, but because the courts ruled on that like 5 years ago, that's just kind of what it is right now. So tons of Korean women are getting abortions, and it's bad. It's bad. So if you can't even like, you're not supposed to, if you're in a crisis, population crisis in Korea, say, oh yeah, let's expand more access to abortion because, oh, we want them to take it safely. No, like we don't even want to take them at all. Like they shouldn't be taking it at all because you need to have children. Do not kill babies, have babies. So pray for Korea. Hopefully things change, but we will see.